Deep beneath the earth, in the crushing silence of a deep coal seam, something ancient waited for a way out. It did not have a mind or a will, only a biological imperative to survive and spread. It all started with one man, a worker in the mines. An accident left him injured and bleeding. As he did, coal dust from the deep earth seeped into his open wound. Hidden within that dust were dormant spores, which had lingered in the dark for an untold age, waiting until they finally discovered a warm, living host. At first, the infection progressed slowly. The mine worker made his way back to camp, the pathogen flowing silently through his veins. For several days, the illness spread, drifting through the mining settlement with a ghostly, invisible efficiency. Eventually, the scale of the crisis caught the eye of the CDC. A response team was sent in to halt the epidemic, but they failed. The pathogen did not care for medicine or quarantine. It infected the crisis team as well. When the Foundation finally intervened, there was no one left to save. All affected personnel were terminated. Patient 0 was taken into captivity for study. To ensure nothing else escaped that deep coal seam, the mine shaft was collapsed by an explosive device, burying the source of the outbreak under millions of tons of rock. The organism was designated SCP-016. It is a blood-borne pathogen of terrifying adaptability. Its containment requires absolute precision. It is kept within a 5 by 5 by 5 meter room. The temperature in this chamber must never exceed 0 degrees Celsius. Inside this freezing void, SCP-016 resides in a petri dish, locked within a containment cube. The protocols are rigid. Any experimentation requires Level 4 or O5 authorization. Documentation must be submitted before and after any samples are taken. The cost of negligence is absolute. Those who fail to follow these procedures face termination or reassignment as Class D personnel. All work with the pathogen is conducted under BCL5 containment conditions. The Foundation knows that if a breach occurs, there is no room for error. A Code Sigma lockdown is implemented immediately. Security forces, clad in standard mission-oriented protective posture equipment, are ordered to terminate all infected personnel on site. There is no evacuation. There is no rescue. If the infection cannot be contained within 48 hours, the on-site nuclear device is detonated. The facility and everyone inside it are erased from existence. SCP-016 is resilient. It can survive for up to 6 hours on hard surfaces. In the air, it persists for several minutes. Only high-intensity ultraviolet light or high concentrations of orthophthalaldehyde solution can truly disinfect a non-organic surface. To understand the horror of SCP-016, one must understand how it consumes its host. The incubation period is unpredictable. It can last 24 hours, or it can linger for 2 years. This duration depends on how many other human hosts are nearby. The pathogen waits, calculating the best moment to strike.
When the first symptoms appear, they are deceptively mundane. It feels like a common cold. The eyes become itchy. The nose runs. A cough develops. The body aches with a dull, persistent fatigue. For a few days, the host believes they are simply ill.
Then comes Phase 2. Within 48 hours, the illness transforms into a controlled form of hemorrhagic fever. The organism begins to force small amounts of blood into the lungs. This creates an aerosol effect. As the host coughs, they are no longer just spreading a cold. They are spraying the pathogen into the air for others to breathe. Then, the host crashes. Phase 3 is a systemic collapse. The body becomes a sieve. Blood begins to leak profusely from every single orifice. It seeps from the nose and the tear ducts. It leaks from the mouth and the urethra. It pours from the anus and the vagina. Even the pores of the skin begin to weep crimson. During this final stage, blood pressure skyrockets to unnatural levels. The internal pressure becomes so great that hosts have been observed projectile vomiting blood to distances exceeding 5 meters. It is a violent, total exsanguination. In most cases, the host dies here. But if they survive this near-total loss of blood, the pathogen does not leave. It simply goes dormant once more, returning to the incubation phase and waiting for the cycle to begin again. However, SCP-016 possesses a trait that distinguishes it from other hemorrhagic fevers, like Ebola or Marburg. It responds to stress. When a host is placed in a high-stress situation, a life-threatening crisis, the pathogen changes its survival tactic. It stops focusing on rapid reproduction. Instead, it begins to rewrite the host's DNA. It stimulates rapid cell division to reshape the body into something that can survive the current threat. The mutation is savage. Significant physiological shifts happen within the first day. A total reconstruction of the body takes 14 days. Most hosts simply cannot endure this ordeal. The strain on their biological systems is too immense, and they perish before the change is finalized. Those who do survive the change are no longer entirely human. They exhibit a heightened sense of aggression, similar to the effects of rabies. This is believed to be an evolutionary drive to maximize the spread of the virus through violence. While these transformed subjects no longer suffer from the hemorrhagic bleeding of Phase 3, they remain carriers. Anyone they infect will still undergo the standard, agonizing process of the blood-borne disease. The Foundation sought to understand this transformative property through a series of experiments on D-class personnel. The results were as varied as they were disturbing. In the first trial, subject D-016-1 was infected and placed in a room that was slowly flooded with water over 24 hours. The stress of drowning triggered the mutation. SCP-016 rewrote the subject's biology to fit the environment. His lungs were transformed into gills. Over the next 2 weeks, his limbs shifted into fins. His eyes atrophied, becoming useless in the murky depths. But his hearing evolved. He developed a cetacean-type echolocation ability, navigating the water through sound. He survived until the Foundation decided the experiment was over. They drained the water from his quarters. The creature that had been a man could no longer breathe air. He asphyxiated in the sudden dryness of the room. His body was cremated without an autopsy. The second trial used subject D-016-2 under the same conditions. Again, the room was flooded, but SCP-016 responded differently this time. Instead of adapting for stealth and breath, it adapted for power. The subject underwent rapid muscular growth. Thick, heavy bone growths erupted from his knuckles. Driven by an aggressive urge, he attempted to punch his way through the reinforced steel door of his confinement. He failed. He died by drowning, his strength insufficient to break the steel. The third trial involved subject D-016-3, a former chemical engineer. As the water rose in his cell, SCP-016 did not grant him gills or strength. Instead, it grew an unusual organ on his chest, a chamber connected to two separate tubes. The organ began to swell, drawing in water and processing it. Foundation personnel realized what the pathogen was attempting to build. They terminated the subject with a gunshot before the process could finish. Upon examination, the organ was found to contain gas sacs filled with acetylene gas. The researchers then wondered if the transformation could be guided by the host's will. Subject D0164 was infected and told to concentrate on forming wings. He was placed in a controlled environment, but no life-threatening stress was applied. The subject focused on the idea of flight, but SCP-016 remained indifferent. Without the trigger of extreme stress, there was no mutation. The subject progressed through the normal stages of infection. He died during Phase 3, bleeding out from every pore. The final trial sought to combine will with terror. Subject D0165 was told to concentrate on forming wings and was then placed in an acrylic box. This box was suspended 305 meters above a deep mine shaft. A timer was placed outside the box, counting down to a release that the subject knew would be fatal. The stress of the height and the ticking clock triggered the pathogen. But SCP-016 did not give him wings. Instead, it grew a tentacle-like organ on his left wrist, resembling the spinnerets of a spider. The subject extended this organ through one of the air holes in the acrylic box and extruded a strong, silk-like substance. He used the webbing to secure the box to the cable, desperately trying to anchor himself against the inevitable. The countdown reached 0. The bomb detonated. The subject was terminated instantly. SCP-016 does not care about the desires of its host. It does not grant wishes or evolve based on thought. It only responds to the primal fear of death by twisting the flesh into whatever shape it deems necessary for survival. There are whispers within the Foundation of a possible link between SCP-016 and another entity, SCP-1801. Both are fatal contagions. Both stimulate the production of excess, distorted organs. The investigation continues. The pathogen remains in its freezing cell, locked away from the warmth of human blood. It waits in the cold, patient and dormant. It has already shown that it can rewrite the very essence of a human being to survive the crushing depths of the ocean or the terror of a great fall. One must wonder what other forms it could take if it ever found its way back into the deep coal seams where it first learned how to wait.